Welcome everyone to the comic show again for episode 48. Wow, we are 2 episodes away from 50. It's kind of interesting um that we're here. But anyway, I'm your host Technique, and I'm here with the co-host Nighthawk Plays, aka Matt. Matt, how you doing, man? You've had it rough, to say the least.
Yeah, no, I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. Last week was definitely a fun one. Unfortunately, the COVID bug hit the family and I. Everyone's doing much better now. Still feeling a little bit of remnants from it, but overall feeling much better. And I appreciate it. I mean, I know there was a kind of a sudden, somewhat abrupt end to last week's stream, but
It's fine.
appreciate it.
It's
I'm
fine.
feeling better, man.
Good. I'm glad, and I'm glad the family's doing well.
I don't
It
care
is
about
what it is.
myself as long as the kids are feeling much better because that was rough, but yeah.
Yeah. Um, well, last week was kind of a shot in the dark episode. It's like we were in between announcements, so we really didn't have too much to really go off of. But this week is different. There's a lot going on, and yeah, let's go ahead and start about it. First, I'm going to say Multiverse has released. Multiverse is the best DC game yet. Hate to say it,
You
but
were
that's
just playing
kinda,
it.
yeah, it's kind of how it is. It's the best DC game that's out right now. Just because it has DC characters in it. Gotham Knights is coming. I'm getting hit up by people about it, and it's looking okay. I feel better about it now than I did. I will say that I don't know how I feel about the combat because it is very hit pause, hit pause, hit pause. It just breaks up the flow. And if you're gonna be, you know, playing Nightwing or
Nighthawk?
no, I was gonna say Red Hood at first, but I was like Nightwing, even though Red Hood they show Red Nightwing, and you're trying to go for those long hit combos of a fast character who uses dual weapons. You would think that it would flow, but nah, they went Arkham Asylum heavy. And when people do that and add a lot of slowdown to their attacks, it kind of lets them make mistakes and cover it up. So I hope that's just them doing a demo of it to get people excited, and the combat's gonna be fluid, kind of like Insomniac Spider-Man, because that combat has
Oh,
the
that's amazing.
roots of Arkham Asylum, but they don't play on slowdowns every hit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Did you see the video? I think it was 2 days ago or maybe 3 days ago that they tweeted out with the free roam combat of Batgirl.
Oh yeah.
So that the reason why I say that that seemed like exactly what you're saying, and everything that you're saying on there, I don't know how they're gonna fix it.
Yeah.
Unless there's 1,000 enemies around you, because it is, Batman Arkham Knight came out in 2015, and we haven't had uh, um, a story-driven DC game since then.
Mhm.
And we won't until October of this year, a couple of months away.
Yeah.
And it very reminiscent, even though it is still very different. It's different characters. It's not Batman, like you said. It feels still like you're bouncing. You're the bouncing
Yeah.
Batman,
Yeah.
and if you miss a combo or stop a combo, it's like dead for a little bit, and
Yeah.
that does scare me a little bit.
I was never a fan of hit. Well, okay.
It makes
Insomniac
sense.
Spider-Man does it. You do a combo, then you jump to the next person. But the way they clean it up is Spider-Man's web. So he just webs and then pulls himself or pulls somebody to him. So it makes it feel more natural. What I saw was slow-mo kick, pause, slow-mo kick, pause. It's like ping pong. Um,
Yeah. Would you
which
say that Spider-Man is more so word I want to bouncy, like fluffy and quick, where the well, I guess
I
your
don't know about
Spider-Man is
fluff.
very agile. Like if you put Spider-Man next
Yeah.
to Batman, Batman is brute
Oh,
force,
yeah.
right?
No. Yeah, of course.
But when you look at Batgirl and you look at even Robin gameplay and Red Hood, especially because of the guns, and Dick Grayson, even though three of those four are kind of like Spider-Man-esque, where they're very agile, it still
Mhm.
feels very heavy. I think that's what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say.
yeah, I understand they're going for the epic, and sometimes there's a
Excuse me.
time and place for that. And say what you will, out there about Marvel Avengers. When it comes down to combat, they figured out the
Yeah.
formula when it comes to like multiple people playing together and doing combat and combos together and being able to the
Oh
combat in
yeah.
Marvel Avengers is what they hit on. It's very, very fun. They have their problems, but they hit combat. So this is like DC's to me, this is DC's answer to Marvel Avengers because it's pretty much set up the exact same way. You don't think there's going to be a bat room where you instance into places and do stuff? You think that's going to be 100 complete full roam over Gotham? I'm pretty sure you're going to have zoned areas,
Yeah.
and you're going to go in on that mission together, and it's going to be co-op, join whenever you want, play just like Marvel
They said
Avengers.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're 100% we're going to run with that. And DC has a chance to do something because more and more Marvel Avengers is put in the hot seat, the better it is for DC. But me knowing DC, uh, they're going to try to play off nostalgia too much, and there's going to be that initial launch where they're going to bomb. They're going to try again. They'll probably get a little bit better, and then they'll cancel. So I'm hoping they stick with it because Marvel Avengers went through the same thing. In the beginning, everybody was like, "Yeah!" Once they beat the story, they're like, "Whoa, this drop off." And then everybody was like, "This game is crap. It's dead." And then it went back up when Wakanda came out. Was we love it, and then it went back down, and then it was like up and down.
Oh, we don't have that on the right side, but oh man, we got to also talk about that today too. I forgot
Phase
about that.
four.
My bad,
It'll
Paul.
be in phase four.
No, no. Since we're talking about video games, Black Panther is reportedly being created as a single player game through EA. Did you hear that?
No.
I love the reaction.
eh, okay, if Respawn is doing it, I'm not.
Winter. Oh.
Yeah, I'm not too mad if Respawn does it, kind of like they did Jedi Fallen Order.
Well, I mean, yeah, but when I hear EA, I don't think of Respawn. I think of Respawn when I think of Respawn doing it. Like, what other studio would be able to do it? It's not Dice.
They better not. I swear to God. You know what? I'm almost down for Black Panther being a freaking strategy, live action strategy game. I'd be okay with that.
Ooh.
I'd be okay because that way you control the Dory
Ooh.
Minaj, you control Black Panther. I'd
Mm,
be all right with like Midnight Suns type shit. Okay, I'm good. But if it's going to be action based, obviously it's Black Panther. I just
like I get why they're doing it. I came back to Marvel Avengers when they did the big Wakanda
yeah, but that
Black
was
Panther thing, and that was
like
fantastic. I
yeah, yeah.
absolutely loved it. Um, and obviously Wakanda Forever, which God, that's like the greatest trailer literally ever created.
Yes,
I
best
don't know
trailer
how
ever in Marvel. Period.
cool. Um, and obviously the hype around it, everyone's like now knows the character more than ever. I just don't I just don't understand where EA comes into this. Like you have Insomniac, you have 2K slash Firaxis, you have
Give it to Insomniac.
you
Any
even have Square Enix, right? Like even them too. Like I'm missing somebody though too.
Square Enix, Respawn, yeah, I don't know, but at the end of the day, any agile character, man, I mean, any character with Marvel respect on it just needs to go to Insomniac. It they know the formula already. They have the team that's dedicated. They have the research and they have the credibility. It's one
Yeah.
thing having Insomniac announce Black Panther. It's a whole different story for EA to announce Black Panther,
Mhm.
right? And the funny thing is, overall, if people react to announcements with a vomit emote, then it's not
Yeah.
do it. You got a can of why don't EA just stick to Star Wars? They have such a huge IP to really drive the narrative of Star Wars. Star Wars is doing well on its own story wise, no matter what heat people give it. They just need to keep letting Respawn make the money and shut up. Like just worry about your little EA app and let the games be on there. I still pay my monthly. You getting money from me so I can play those games and go for it. It's just like EA's biggest problem, and I really like. There's people at EA that I really like, but their biggest problem is they want to
Yeah.
overdo stuff way too much. They are eager. They very much pride themselves off of ego, and they will pre-release something just to be in you know, like for instance, I would not be surprised if we see EA's
Battlefield.
Wakanda in November or
Hmm.
whatever, and it'd be a
Oh dear
player
God,
game.
no.
It's just like we got to ride this wave. I don't know, man. I just want game companies to like respect IPs because you can ruin stuff for people. But anyway,
Yeah, I mean, look at the other big piece of news this week too with oh my God, I'm not going to get the name right. Aspire. What
oh,
is it? What is it
oh,
called for the Star Wars remake?
oh, ask,
Aspire. Yeah,
yeah.
they indefinitely put on hold. Was it Old Republic? Like
Oh yeah,
what?
oh, Qatar, Qatar.
What? I mean, this game
Yeah,
has been in
Nice
development
Old
for
Republic.
years, and you recently just had a couple of
You talking about
people.
Knights of the Old Republic?
Knights of the Old Republic, yeah. Yeah, they just put that they just
Yeah.
indefinitely put that on hold
Well, they
because
fired a
of
bunch of people.
yeah,
Um, it's
that
gonna
never
be one of those
helps.
games that didn't need to happen. Honestly,
Really?
I don't think some games need to stay in the vault. If you really want to play Knights of the Republic, grab your Switch and play it. Right? Like they re-released the game for a reason.
Yeah, and apparently it runs really well too. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't have it, but
bro,
apparently it
it
runs
runs
really,
well
really
on
well
the
on Switch.
cell phone. It's on the cell phone. So I'm just these companies wasting. Somebody brought up this not too long ago. They were like, "Yo, these companies are wasting so much time um remaking games where they could just be making new IPs." And you know what? I understand that, but at the same time, some companies just don't have the money to bust out a new IP. I think that's where it's at right now. Old IP, you got old assets, you can build on those assets, right? And you just put a new
Mhm.
engine, build on it, whatever. But a brand new IP, you got to bring in new assets, new art team, everything.
I mean, the whole interesting thing with Knights of the Old Republic was that was originally BioWare and Lucas Games, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah, yeah.
now it's no longer over there. It's now with a completely new
Random.
studio that
Yeah,
has no backing with it. I'm not saying like, game
credibility.
development isn't easy. But and I'm not saying these guys aren't able and girls aren't able to do it, but you're just getting something in your lap. And I'm sure Disney and Lucas, Star Wars is telling you, okay, this is what we want to do with the story. They're absolutely changing things to make things canon, right? But
Mm,
it's
yeah.
it's
Mm.
it's man, this game has been in development for years, clearly. We just got Paul, they just put it on hold after Vertical Slice and firing of an art director.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, how does it get to that point? I mean, how bad could that be?
I mean,
I mean, I've
so
dealt with game development,
mhm.
and that just boggles my mind that it got that far and that bad that quickly.
The story is that they did like like how you do a pilot. They go in front of the people that got the money, the people that review it,
Yeah,
and they were like, "This is absolutely trash," and was absolutely probably pissed and asking like, "What were you doing for the past 5 years?" That's probably what happened, and just fired him on the spot.
yeah,
I mean, right now, it's amazing to me that games is still $1 billion thing with all this COVID stuff going around. And these companies are still kicking out these games. They have pushbacks and stuff, but they're still putting out there's some companies out there just absolutely destroying quality games in a good way. Like they're just doing so well. And a
yeah.
lot of people just want a piece of the pie and they're like, guys, this is the time to do it. The world's opening back up. If we don't release right now, it's going to be bad. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. As for reportedly fired them internally too, and it wasn't a push for Disney. Lucas reportedly, yeah, yeah, something went wrong. I mean, we don't know at the end of the day. It could have been like a scuffle between people. People probably said something they had no business saying,
What do you mean this sucks?
yeah,
Macho Man elbow drop. Nope, you're fired.
yeah, right. Like when Daddy Mouse comes in the picture, it's probably not a good thing. But anyway, they should just work on a High Republic. I honestly, as much as I love Old Republic, as much as I love all the old stuff, they're gonna have to get to a point where they just give up. It's like just say this stuff is canon and move on at this point. I really wanted Bane, I really wanted the old Sith Order and stuff like that. I don't even really want High Republic because High Republic is taking it even not further back, but it's like the in between, you
Now it's
know?
going even further back.
Yeah, can we just get rid of what we let it go, right? Like just let it go and then move on. Like just give us a brand new galaxy. The force is everywhere. We know that. Great. Let's focus on a brand new galaxy with different species, and like really I would love to see a mega war between Jedi and Sith,
Oh
like
yeah.
all out battles,
Genesis
just
1 and 2.
like gladiator style. Not gladiator style, but like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones style, like just a whole bunch of them just running and just like
Old Republic
going,
trilogy.
like it's just like thousands of people fighting. That's what I want to see, man. I want to see the big struggle between um almost like a Game of Thrones struggle. Like there's different houses it's not just one Jedi order. There's different orders and stuff. Like I
I
think that
mean,
would be,
yeah.
like I need to sit on the council. I'm gonna hit up Charles Soule. Like,
Listen,
yeah.
listen.
I mean that's what we want now. I feel like Lucas and Disney needs to look at it and say what's hot. All right,
You're
yeah.
gonna
Like
get
for
that in
instance,
movies, I think.
yeah, like Game of Thrones was great. It went for a long time, then it bombed. But did it affect the hype for this new Game of Thrones show coming out? Absolutely not. People are like, I can't wait for dragons burning shit up. We know what's gonna happen. We know Targaryens are freaking nuts. Let's go. Like, and people are just like so buying into the chaos, and that's what they want. So Lucasfilms needs to say, okay, we did this like love story, the space opera, this struggle between good and evil, and it's all just a love game. I mean, let's just be real. If Anakin and Obi-Wan can get in the bed together, they probably would destroy each other. It's to that point now where the bromance is so strong, bro, between those two. It's literally Star Wars is just a love story at this point on film. I'm serious. Ain't got no problem with
Okay.
it.
All right. All right. Didn't think of it that way. All
Like,
right.
they already touching some lightsabers. It's all good between the two of them. It's a bromance. The Han Solo and Leia, it's a romance. Luke and Yoda, romance. And then Ray and Ren, romance. I'm surprised they didn't find out they were cousins or something because I thought that was coming. Maybe
Yeah,
they might be.
right.
You never know. But like, it's just like, and then Finn and everybody. So it's just
God, yeah.
it's it's all romance. I'm sick of
Yeah.
this, dude. We got Days of Our Life already. Like, let's go ahead and bring the badassery back into Star Wars. And I think they're doing that with Mando, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Boba Fett was a
I think,
disappointment. But
yeah. I think everything you're saying hopefully will be fleshed out in film with like a new journey, a new idea, new like a galaxy even long ago and a galaxy further away or something like that, right? Um I don't know if they would do that necessarily on Disney Plus because that's where I feel like more of the hardcore fans go. So they want these type of like in between stories. They want to get more info. They want to get more canon. What's Legends? What's EU? What's actually canon or not? That's just kind of my where I not saying that they aren't. Like look at Visions. Visions was awesome, and they're doing more with that. Obviously they're playing with Acolyte and now Tales of the Jedi and what is the or is Tales of the what's the one with Dumbledore?
oh,
Um, is that Tales of the Jedi or is that something else that they announced?
I don't know. I kind of pieced out once I saw Ahsoka and Acolyte. I was like, okay, I'm done. This is good. I just you know I just feel like Disney is doing that one thing where they just ride a train too much. Like it's like you ride a train so much the tracks are not even built yet, so you want to just keep going and hope you jump over the gap. It's just they're releasing, yeah, exactly. They're releasing too much media at once. I just think it's too many. They don't let a show enjoy. Like you
Oh, you
let
want to talk
people,
about too much media?
yeah, they don't let people build up hype enough. It's like Ashoka. Oh my god! Oh my god! Acolyte. Oh my god! It's like you gotta be. You can't enjoy both because it's just like the hype is just too much. Marvel can do that because they've already situated themselves in a good position to blow people's mind because Marvel movies are gonna be spaced the hell out and probably gonna get knocked back.
No. let's put a pin in that though till we get there because Marvel, I mean, obviously we're going to talk about this. Marvel 4, 5, and 6. Kevin Feige chose violence and just went ham at San Diego Comic-Con.
That's true,
But
but
I mean, listen,
every announcement
everything
gets
is
pushed
everything is subject to change. We're going to
back.
get more information on more things come the middle-ish of December with D23, right?
Mhm.
But when you talk about not spacing things out, I mean, I did the math on it based on everything they showed and didn't show. There's a lot going on there. I don't know if you want to go into now or put a pin into it, because we got a couple of other things to
Uh,
get to beforehand. But
yeah,
I don't.
let's
It's nuts what they're doing.
okay, yeah. Yeah, let's just go in order. Let's start with Superman and then we'll work our way
Woo!
down.
Superman.
30th anniversary death of Superman. We'll intro a new villain, a Doombreaker, another Doom somebody. I think they're running out of names here at DC.
I know,
I
right? Oh
feel
my
like they're like, yeah,
gosh.
what villain's gonna be big in Marvel? Doctor Doom, great. Doombreaker. I don't know. I just oh man. I feel like Marvel and DC's been like that for forever. But anyway, yeah, Superman. You know, okay. Are we still with Clark? Like, is it still Clark? Oh my god. All right, so 30th anniversary of death of Superman. I'm gonna let you take that because that's your character.
Well, I mean, I still remember what was it? I was like 7, 8 years old when it came out. I ran down the street to the comic store. Like
Mhm.
this was epic. I mean, this was the first thing ever. We this was the biggest guy, and he died for a while. Like there
Yeah.
was no coming back. I mean, then DC killed Death by bringing him back, but that was that was that was amazing.
Mhm.
Um, Hearing that they're doing something for it. I mean, I have you can't see it, but like I have my cased 30th anniversary, not 30th, my original behind me. I still have that comic book. It's absolutely incredible. Um, there's a lot of stuff Superman going on today. It's the 30th anniversary. What's going on with the movies? Are they getting Henry Cavill? Are they not getting Henry Cavill? But for this specifically, um, with introducing a new villain, Doombreaker, that's interesting. I
Yeah.
mean, in November, we're going to get a first look at the, this is from comicbook.com. We're going to get a first look at what's going on in this 80-page special issue where it's Superman versus Doomsday, and this new arc with this new character comes to life called Doombreaker. Let me see if I can get a exact quote over here for it. That was loud and in my ear. Breaker. So, in this issue, will also be introduced to a brand new villain named Doombreaker in the DC universe. That will be starting on November 8th with this 80-page big issue. He's connected to Doomsday. Wow! Spoiler alert! Didn't
I
see
had no
that
idea,
coming.
man. Shoot. I thought he was related to Breaker. Who's Doom? Anyway.
I mean, the cool thing is, he's going to be teaming up with John, which is obviously a little bit different compared to what we've seen in the past.
A little bit
But
different.
how they're going to be bringing it together with something that was so iconic, I'm of two minds on. Like, comic is art. Art is always depicted in different ways. You can change things whenever and however you want, but
Mhm.
this is a big change. So I'm I'm cautiously optimistic. I'll be picking it up. I think it's going to be a lot of fun read. I'll be getting on probably physical and comicsology as well. But I just don't. I don't know how they're going to do this. We don't even. Do we have any images of it yet? No, we don't have any images what Doombreaker looks like. Having it with John is cool. I don't know. What are your initial thoughts on hearing the change, the name, how they're reincorporating this?
Well, I'll open up with a question for you, chat, and those that are listening. Do you think more iconic characters need to have a death scene or die in general? Do you think that's a door that's opening for new opportunities and fresh content? I'm gonna say yes. Um, I think Death Superman is great. I think having Superman actually be gone and open a door for another character is great. when it comes to villains, I don't think villains get enough. I don't want to say attention. I don't. Yeah, let's just say attention. I don't think they get enough attention, man. And there's so many unexplored villains that they've developed in the past. I just don't want that thing to happen where you see Doombreaker, you're like, oh, okay, he's pretty cool, and then he just disappears, and you don't hear from him for a while. Then you'll bring him back a little bit later, and you'll see him in a movie, and then people won't be like, familiar with who the character is because they just kind of had him just for this comic, and then he just disappeared. I just really hope that they sit there and they develop characters and give them a soul. I feel like a lot of DC characters, unless they're like the originals, don't have that soul. You know, um,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I
like
agree.
Joker. You say what's your favorite DC villain? People are gonna 99 times out of 10 say Joker or Doomsday because you don't really get any souls out of any other villains. You just don't. But anyway, that's how I feel about it. Whatever.
So to get a little bit more detail in it, I kind of was skimming and control F finding here, but the more I kind of skim through and get some info on it. So this is a special, obviously. It's a 30th
Mhm,
anniversary special. The special reunites the original creative team from the death of Superman in
mhm,
four new stories that explore the events of the original story from a unique point of view, including Clark and Lois's son, Jonathan Kent, Steel, Guardian, and Ma and Pa Kent are also in the mix. And the four stories are The Life of Superman, Standing Guard, Time, and Above and Beyond. And the quick synopsis of these, I think it goes in that order. I'm not 100% sure. But Life of Superman, a young Jonathan Kent finds out in school that his dad has died years earlier, as his parents never told him about that fateful day. In the midst of dealing with this emotional news, John and Clark need to team up and fight a new villain connected to Doomsday called Doombreaker. Okay, that's interesting. Standing Guard, the epic battle between Superman and Doomsday from the Guardian's perspective. Then the Time, which is from the perspective of John Henry Irons, Steel, and then Above and Beyond, a powerful story. Mom and Ken watching their son fight Doomsday live on television and going through Clark's photo albums with a feeling that their son always prevails. Okay, now that I read that, it's not exactly what I thought.
yeah.
It is completely different
It's just
than
like
what I thought they were gonna do. And I mean, the most interesting one is the
team
I
up.
mean, the parent one is probably gonna, make me tear up, but the son one is interesting. The team up
Mm,
one where you never knew that about your father. He died, he came back, Jesus, and now you got to fight this other thing called Doombreaker, which you don't know what it is, but obviously there's probably gonna be ties. It's unique. It's
Is
it's a little
Doombreaker
bit different.
like, I swear to
The
goodness,
Doomsday 2.0, yeah.
or Doomsday's son. I want revenge, and
How
it's
the
like,
hell did that
revenge,
happen?
click, click, click. Now we have Superman and
Oh
Doomsday all over
man.
again. That sounds like a DC thing they would do, and that's not a negative. I just said it depends on what people want. Well, anyway, congratulations, Superman fans and Superman creators. The 30th anniversary of Death of Superman was definitely one of the best Superman comics, that's for sure. Like I said, iconic characters struggling is really nice to see because they're always winning.
Yeah.
Interesting thing before we move on to the next subject. Um, John Farrow of Marvel, or Farrow, however you want to say his name. I read an article the other day saying that he tried to reverse the decision and kill off Iron Man. He said that it's too
Really?
tragic. This is gonna ruin this everything. You can't do this. Yeah. He like called into the Russo brothers and said, you cannot do this. This is absolutely tragic and it's gonna devastate people. It did devastate people, devastated me. I devastated my wife.
Oh
We're
yeah.
all like, no, like, like what? We knew it was, you knew it was coming. It's just that you just didn't want it to come. I was like, let Captain America do it, please. The guy lived a life full of multiple people lives. Like let him go. But anyway, so yeah, I thought it was very interesting. So having those iconic characters die sometimes, it boosts a lot of things. But then you come with the bringing, they always come back in the end and stuff. So if Tony Stark does come back, aka Robert Downey Jr., which I heard rumors of him being offered something, by the way. If they do come back, I hope it's
Oh,
a hologram and for Ironheart. That would just make it perfect. If he's like an AI, like Friday or whatever, or Jarvis, he's just like that AI they had in the original comic with Ironheart. Granted, Ironheart will be in Wakanda film, but that will be dope to me. And I'd be like, okay, we brought back Robert Downey Jr. for like like an episode. I mean, not episode, but a movie, and he's good. Then we can be like, okay, that's the proper send off for him. He got to pass the torch, and it wasn't to Spider Man. Because Spider
yeah.
Man put that torch and put that shit out. Yeah, Spider Man just like, I ain't following you, motherfucker.
And I'm done.
Yeah, he was like, no
Yeah,
one
I
told me
mean,
no one told me my aunt was going to die, so yeah, get this shit, And so, yeah. Anyway,
everyone, everyone's kind of saying that, Doctor Strange is the new Iron Man. Oh, not Iron Man, but Tony Stark.
ah,
He's I don't get where they're saying that from. Like, I understand this is the official announcement that we're in the multiverse saga 4, 5, and
yeah,
6, right? Like the
which
Infinity War saga.
isn't the biggest saga, which is wild. Anyway, we'll talk about that in phase 4.
Yeah, but like that's I we don't have that quote unquote, in my opinion, leader right now.
No,
When and who or how many who's is it
yeah.
gonna be?
Ah,
I think we're gonna
Mer-
lead over the next couple of I think it's gonna be the next couple movies, and I think it's gonna be one of the next one. You're gonna see two of them.
it's
But
Captain
but
America.
man, I had to Google this, dude. Dude, this broke 22 hours ago. What you're talking about with John Favreau. And so apparently, while speaking with Vanity Fair recently, Anthony and Joe Russo spoke about Favreau's objection to killing Stark, with Anthony revealing that Favreau asked, "Are you really going to kill Iron Man?" after he read the script.
Yeah,
He
he's
did.
upset.
Yeah, I don't know which one this is, but he did. Yeah, and I remember pacing on the corner of a stage on the phone with Varro, trying to talk him off the ledge because he's like, "You can't do this. It's going to devastate people, and you don't want that." Walking out of a theater and into traffic, we did it anyways.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
Like
honestly,
you,
I think that phone call, Russo was like, I understand. It's a green light. Like, like they're like, yes, we want people to feel this way because we can bring them back home afterward. It's like, I thought it was hilarious.
oh
I could
wow.
see that.
And
Jonathan
then
Post,
Oh, yeah, but you know what's cool about that? Like, you hear once again, this goes back to the actors that we talk about and how Tom and Zendaya, um, uh, 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 your boo, Florence Pugh, like
mm-hmm,
Haley Seinfeld, like all of them are just having fun. And
mm-hmm,
when you think of executives in movies nowadays, especially DC, no one's having fun, and
yeah.
they're not like into it.
I'm
But
gonna
then
tell
when
you
you
why.
hear when you hear when you hear Favreau, when you hear Filoni, when you hear the Russo brothers, obviously there's a connection between where they're all at right now and Kevin
Right, right.
Feige. They're having fun living in this world, living the dream,
Trading.
right?
Yeah.
Like, like,
All about
like,
heart.
that's a mass. Yeah, yeah, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Kevin Hart, like they're living life and enjoying it, and they get it. And I just scrolled down a little bit too. Sidetrack, but go back. When quizzed about the decision to kill Loki in Avengers Endgame, Joe Russo simply answered, "He deserved to die." like this
Hilarious.
is so good. This is the
Yeah.
stories that you love to hear because they're vested in these characters, they're vested in the stories. They're also vested in the actors and actresses as well.
Mhm.
Like that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm I love the MCU. I mean, people can say what the hell they want to say. It's been a great ride. By this time, by year 10, 11, you start to feel that burnout. But anyway, let's move on. Yeah, we're going off track. Spawn,
Yeah.
Spawn. MCU Phase 4 is after Spawn. We can talk about it. Anyway, Spawn is back. Yay! We've been hearing about news on Spawn for a long time. We've been waiting for a long time. Todd McFarlane is the OG. I swear that guy doesn't. He. Oof. Okay. All right. That's cool. By myself. He ages, but his content stays very, very, very on point. I'm really, really excited to see what Todd McFarlane brings. The fact that this is becoming a streaming series, possibly, maybe, yes. The
Yeah.
most successful Spawn was HBO. Back then, stuff like that didn't happen on HBO. You got all kinds of raw animation. Like that thing was a rated R movie,
Dude.
little slight on porn. Like it was all day. I was in heaven as a kid. I was like, yes, please, and thank. Is that a booby? This is great. That's a disinterpretation. Amazing. Spawn pulled that out of him. Oh, I was literally into it because I just told my mom I was watching Saturday morning cartoons at that point on rerun. Because man, let me tell you. But anyway, yeah, Spawn looks great. Um, what are your thoughts on becoming a series? I like that way better than a movie personally.
Yeah, I feel like Spawn hasn't been around for quite some time in the, in the eyes of everything, in the eyes of people. So having Spawn as a move as a series, like going back to the HBO days when we were growing up, pausing our VHS on the nipples.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
I think it's really cool. I think this is a character and this is a story where it fits perfectly not to be a movie right now. Don't kind of, what is it, not pinhole it, keyhole, but don't try to force it into
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
something where you can just rip something out of the comics and everyone would love it. Rip a story
yeah.
out of the comics, make it an eight,
Well,
9, 10 episode series on whatever, and you're good to go. I think that's awesome.
yeah. As pointed out, Jamie Foxx's Spawn. My thoughts on it. I'm here for it. I'm freaking here for it. Jamie Foxx. After watching,
Amazing
okay,
actor.
let me tell you, that man can play any role. He's talented. He's in shape. He's in the peak of his career right now, where nobody can touch him really. Also, Jamie Foxx is a damn vampire slayer now with Snoop Dogg. Boy, it don't get better than that. Um, on top of that, right now, seeing Jamie Foxx go from the Electro that Sony made to the Electro that Marvel made, and the memes in between, I'm pretty sure Jamie Foxx oh, I'm liking this. I'm looking in this. I'm like high quality. Did me in, bro. Like I was just like, Sony, you hear that? Like, so that comedy that Jamie Foxx brings to the table, I think he'd be a perfect Spawn. I'm pretty sure Michael White is probably kicking walls right now,
Oh
uh,
God.
side by side with Wesley Snipes as they get replaced. Oh man, but at the end of the day, it's a good thing, man. I think Michael did really well on Spawn the movie. I thought the Spawn the movie was good. I thought it was good. I mean, and granted, I was really young and I was super into Spawn.
For the time, what it did, how it did it. I mean, John Leguizamo, right? It was interesting. I'm sorry, my internet is
It's all right.
apparently acting up today and chose
You're
violence,
the
but we're pushing
you're the
through.
Sony Electro, and I'm the Spawn.
The Sony Electro, gotta love it. But yeah, I think that's I'm just thinking of John Leguizamo as that character. I can't think of his name, but it was great at the
He's like,
time. Michael J. White,
he was
yeah.
clown. He was clown. That's what he was. Yeah,
Michael J. White is he's a good actor. He fit that
he was
character
a great
perfectly.
martial
But
artist.
but yeah, having Jamie Foxx would be really really cool. Would be really really cool. I
Yeah,
think he's come a long way that from when we first saw him. But but yeah, I'm 100% with you.
yeah. I mean, like I said, Jamie Foxx can play any character. I mean, any he made some bad movies, and the funny thing about Jamie Foxx is like he was like it was a check. Like he'll just straight up say it, you know.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. Speaking on Jamie Foxx's Spawn, man, that vampire movie, or series that's coming out on Netflix, I think it is with Snoop Dogg. I'm super excited about that. That looks absolutely fantastic, man. And you know whose acting skills has really went up 100%? Freaking Snoop Dogg. Like you put a
You
blunt in that man's hand,
doggy.
he is on his acting. You know he got to smoke up every dang. I'm not making a joke. I've met him. Like he doesn't function unless there's Kush involved, and it
Oh
has
my
to be
gosh.
Snoop Dogg Kush. But anyway, let's move on. Excited about Spawn. What's your thoughts on Spawn, chat, or our podcast listeners? Let us know. I know we've been waiting for Spawn. It's a very beloved character. Talk about a character that has too many variations and variants. Spawn can have his own damn multiverse at this point. Now we can move
Yeah.
on to Phase 4, Marvel. Now we can talk about something that we couldn't stay away from. Um, Marvel is here, baby. Okay, Marvel Phase 4 is here, 5 and 6. Let's just be real.
Jeez.
Says playing the next 10 years. I think that man went to 15, almost 20 at this point. We know that anything that is announced can be pushed back at least 6 months. So you got to give or take on these dates. So but start with the closest one would be Wakanda. I believe, yeah,
Yeah,
Wakanda.
Wakanda is the next
Woo. Yeah.
movie coming out. What is that? 11 I believe.
November 11th
And
is
that is
yep, right
the
before my
and
birthday.
oh nice. Happy almost not almost birthday.
Thanks.
Now what did they say again? Was that the ending or the ending of phase 4 or the beginning of phase 5? I forgot what they said with that. I just for some reason I can't
For
remember.
Wakanda?
Yeah, Wakanda
Oh,
Forever
that's
was
probably gonna be the end of phase 4. Or no, end of whatever phase are we in phase 4 right now? What phase are we in? 3?
we're in Wakanda Forever
It's
is
gonna
the
end it.
end of yeah, because I'm pretty sure
Yeah, end
it
of
will be
phase.
yeah. Okay, so Black Panther Wakanda Forever will be the final film of phase 4 and then
Yeah, phase 4.
Quantman,
Quantum.
Ant-Man and Quantum Mania will be the beginning of phase 5, excuse me.
Yep, yep.
That's what it was.
It makes sense
And
because
man,
yep. We got Miss Marvel introduced. We got Ironheart that's gonna be introduced. We got the new Black Panther, which is probably gonna be Lupita. Lupita. That's her name. It's probably gonna be Lupita. Everyone thinks it's gonna be Shuri, but I do not think it's going to be her because Lupita is actually physically capable of being Black Panther. A lot of people don't know you have to be physically capable of being Black Panther. I think
oh
Shuri is going
yeah.
to become the queen. Hopefully, Angela Bassett doesn't go in this. I think Shuri is going to be the queen of Wakanda, and her mom is going to be the regent or whatever, like above, advisor of her daughter. I think that's what's going to happen. Um, and we're gonna introduce Riri Williams as Ironheart. I think that showing the knocking of the heart, I think that's all we're really gonna get out of Riri Williams. I don't think we're gonna get her helping anybody in Wakanda. I think that's going to be kind of like a hey, there's a new person that's been interning under Shuri at the new thing that Shuri made at the beginning. She's gonna get news about her brother. They're actually going to announce that T'Challa's dead. That I got chills. And on top of that,
Man.
I was like, oh, so they're doing that.
But
Mm.
that whole like beginning. First off, that song, oh my god, in that
Remix?
trailer.
Oh,
That
that remix
was
is great. That's a
so
Kanye West
good.
remix. Funny enough. But anyway,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, seeing them in obviously, I guess Wakanda. It's a funeral, all black, all white. That's what they do in Wakanda.
They're probably gonna
T'Challa.
open. I think they're gonna open with the funeral.
I think it's gonna be all that's going to move everything in the film.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be the start of it. That's what's gonna change everything. That's Angela Bassett was his mom, right? In
Yeah.
the film.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Here, dude, the emotion. I have lost everything.
Yeah,
I'm
what
getting emotional
more do
actually,
you
just
want
like,
from me? Yeah.
oh my god, that was so good. I mean,
Ugh.
sad, but like this film is going to be it's gonna
It's
be
gonna
a
be the
ride.
biggest
It's
thing
gonna
for
be an
phase four.
emotional ride, bro.
It's literally gonna carry phase 4. It's perfect because Ryan Coogler carried Marvel and Black Panther to Avengers, right? Like to after Civil War, people were like, it was good, but I was like, yay. Then you got Black Panther, and it carried people into Avengers. People were excited to see all these people on screen.
Yeah.
Then it kind of took a dip for a little bit because we were just like, all right, man, we just lost how many people? Like, what the fuck? And then then we had to adjust to people coming to the realization that Avengers may not be anymore. The Avengers they know. But then Kevin was like, "Yeah, new Avengers," and we knew it was coming. We know that Miss Marvel, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Ironheart, Florence Pugh's Black Widow, Haley Steinfeld's
Yeah.
Hawkeye. I think that Clint is still going to be around, but I think he's going to be retired because I believe now that Haley is with him, he's going to train her. We're probably going to see a little bit of Kent and Haley like doing a thing. Maybe we'll get a season 2 of Hawkeye, which will be smart. Haven't seen it on the board. Scary. But they do announce shows in between as well. So we'll probably get a little bit more of that. And then Clint is probably going to kind of fade out of Marvel as he got his wish to be on a farm with his family and living a good life.
Yeah.
But his daughter is a whole different story. And I'm gonna leave that one alone. I think there's going to be some there. They focused on his daughter way too much in Hawkeye for her not to be something else later on, because they both in the comic are Hawkeye. I believe Haley, Katie Bishop eventually changes her name, or is it no? It's Clint's daughter that changes her name to something else. I believe. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I wasn't really a big reader of that series. Um, Also, we're getting Thunderbolts. We knew that was coming. Here, let me just
Which
go in
is
order.
yeah. I actually got the I got the lineup. So as you said, the end of phase 4 will be Wakanda Forever, which we just talked about. Which is actually another piece of that which we have to talk about, which is the Submariner in there.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah. I mean,
he is the first mutant.
that's
So
not true.
no, didn't they? When he came
Oh,
out in the comic books, wasn't he titled Namor the
oh,
Submariner, the first
you're
mutant?
talking about in the comics. Oh, I thought you meant in
Yes,
the
not in the
MCU.
MCU. Yeah, not in the
I was
MCU.
about to say announced technically in MCU is
Yeah,
Marvel, but
yep, that was awesome.
yeah,
But
I was like,
oh, so good, dude. The goosebumps, the everything. But
she
yeah,
was just
okay.
like,
So,
okay.
so
Anyway,
what? And I love that it was him that said it, the
yeah,
friend. Like I was
yeah.
love that that he said it. So yeah, end of phase 4 this November, and then we jump into phase 5 with Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Whoa, that was thunder outside my house. Holy moly!
Whoa, that I heard that.
Yeah, that was super loud.
Wow. Okay. Then Secret Invasion, which is Disney Plus, movie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, TV show, Echo, Loki Season 2, The Marvels, Blade, Ironheart series, Agatha Coven of Chaos, which is interesting. Daredevil Born Again, which we got to talk about.
Yeah,
Captain
that's
America NWO, New World Order. And then it ends phase 5 with Thunderbolts, which is interesting that Thunderbolts is the end of phase 5.
because
Okay.
the threat that's coming is supposed to be the biggest threat that MCU's ever seen in Marvel history in comics. They're gonna join up with Avengers. I'm pretty sure because in the phase 6 is like Avengers. It's another like double double.
Yeah.
So I'm believing it's going to be something where Inhumans, Not- the big scary looking fucking overseer dude, man. That's pretty big. I don't know. Kang is Kang, but that dude is like creates worlds, bro. Anyway, I don't know.
Well,
I'm interested in that.
yeah, because after Thunderbolts, there looks like there's something that's supposed to be there, which is I think one of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, one of the 8 unannounced titles that we'll probably hear about at D23. But the beginning of it is Fantastic Four. They don't show anything, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other, as of right now, either shows or movies or productions that are going to happen. Then you got Avengers 5, the Kang Dynasty.
Secret Wars too, right?
And
Is
then
it
you
Secret Wars?
have, and then apparently you have another 2 things in between. And then
Yeah,
you got Avengers 6, which is Secret Wars. So Kang
it has to be. It
Dynasty
has to be
is
Miles
going
Morales, Spider Man.
is
100.
going into Avengers
Yeah,
Secret War with gotta be 2 massive hitters in between.
it's got to be Miles Morales. It's
And oh,
Miles.
and one and if you don't know too, I'm sorry, if you don't have this in front of you, this is insane, Frank, to think about. You have May 5th, as of right now, scheduled. You know, things could possibly change. May 5th or 6th, whatever it is. And then Avengers Kang Dynasty. And then November, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 6 months later, in the same calendar year, another Avengers film.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's insane. Like, that's insane. But yeah, I'm sorry. Miles Morales.
It's
I
like I'm
just
saying,
needed to put that out there.
it's gotta be in between. That's an announcement you don't make at San Diego Comic-Con with other announcements. When you announce a character as big as Miles, you announce him by himself solo at another event, closer to the year that it's going to happen. With the cast or with the announcement of who's being casted as Miles.
Casted, yeah.
So forth. So it has to be him because Secret Wars. I feel like you can't have a Secret Wars without having Miles. I just he's a big
I mean,
thing.
there's a lot of people, Iron Man included, which what you
Yeah,
brought up before,
yeah.
that you kind of almost can't without. And there's one person that you've been bringing up more recently that you cannot have Secret Wars without.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it starts with, funny enough, the big D that we were talking about before.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we know
I
he's
mean,
coming.
how do you not have that? I mean, we know
We
that
know
dude's
he's
coming,
coming.
right?
He's,
Like
he- he's
that.
definitely coming. Yeah, he's definitely coming. He's definitely gonna be there. I think they're gonna establish. It's like, are they gonna split up the Avengers? Are we gonna have like new Avengers and the original Avengers, where Miss Marvel is kind of leading the new Avengers with like She Hulk and uh Nova might get announced. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get announced. But anyway, all these characters in their own little small adventure with Miles Morales and stuff later on for Secret Wars, and then you got like Captain Marvel. We still gotta is yeah, the Marvels is on there. I think we're gonna get a lot of answers
Yes,
from
the
the
Marvels,
Marvels
yeah.
when it hits. So Quantum Mania is supposed to give us all the answers we need when it comes to Kang and what's going on with that. Secret Invasion is gonna be fun. I'm pretty sure it's gonna just be fun. Echo,
It's gonna be wild.
I'm not really interested. Like the character in Hawkeye, but I'm not really interested. But Echo gives it a chance for Haley Steinfeld to show up. I just it's like something Hawkeye, Cedra could show up in Echo and give us a little bit more, beef on that. I wouldn't be surprised if Jeremy Renner is not in that, just based on like his history. Loki 2, I don't know, man. The hype has died because the thing that was making Loki big was the mystery of what the hell is going on. The only thing I think that would really push me for Loki 2 to be like super excited again is the fact that we're gonna know what direction Loki's going. Like we're actually gonna know the direction he's going and what he plans on doing and so on and so forth from there. Um
I'm still. I mean, Loki is still my favorite show. Funny enough, Miss Marvel, I think now maybe a close second. I really liked Miss
Miss Marvel
Marvel.
is
It was
definitely
such a
good.
good show.
Yeah.
Moon Knight was okay too, but Loki is going to really tell us a larger story of what's going on with Kang, I believe. I mean, we got that end teaser, obviously, with him being in the TVA. He's the big statue in the TVA Kang. And
Mhm.
and Loki's gonna be a he's gonna be a pawn or like a king or a queen, if you think about chess, in this whole Kang multiversal saga.
Uh,
I think it's gonna be a good show again. I mean, it's always tough a second season when, especially where it came out of nowhere and you loved it that much, and that's how great Loki was. It's hard for me to believe that we're going to be left
yeah,
wanting something
I
out of
don't
it.
think I don't think they're gonna drop the ball on it. Blade, I don't want to sound weird, but it's
But
interesting to me that they put the spaced out the brothers, brothers and sisters on Novembers on each one of these years. You know what I'm saying? I noticed that pattern, brother. I wonder what's going on with that.
oh yeah, I dropped it down. When's Blade? Oh yeah, Blade is November. That's interesting.
I'm just saying,
Huh.
man. I'm just thinking about it. I wonder what's going on with that. But anyway, I don't think it's a conspiracy or nothing. I don't need you guys out there like, oh, you woke, dude. No, it's the thought of like they spaced them out so much, like those. It's like they know they're using the hype characters, to like drive into the new year. I think that's pretty good. Driving
Oh,
Queen,
yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah,
Agatha,
because
let's be real, Agatha is literally only there because fans wanted it. That's all it is. The Agatha song made this. Is this a TV series? Yes, it's a TV series.
yeah, it's a Disney
Made
Plus
the
one.
TV series. That's it. Like with it.
Oh, la,
So
la.
that's not a drive into the new year. Like Blade is definitely the drive into the new year. And they just have Ironheart as fall of 2023. Let's just say that's probably gonna get moved to January. I think Ironheart is definitely gonna get moved to January. That's a long time. Somebody
Okay.
and never see them again for a whole year. You know what I mean? Like they introduced her into Wakanda, Riri Williams, and we don't hear nothing from her. But good news is we
A Secret
won.
Invasion.
Maybe if we're lucky. I doubt we're gonna see her in that if we're gonna get an origin story in like way later. But we
Okay.
won because we wanted Ironheart to be a series, not a movie. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because it was back and forth. They said a series first and they said a movie. And then they went back and forth. So I'm glad we're getting a series out of Ironheart because whatever they did with Miss Marvel, they could do without if they could succeed in Miss Marvel, because Miss Marvel is a very, with the culture and everything
Yep.
like that. That one that's harder to pull off than a story about a black female protagonist. Um, I think Ironheart's gonna be fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to her story because I loved her opening comic books. What they did with the character after that was a shame, but they got better writers on it now. But it was a shame what they did with her in the comics.
I'm excited as well. Having her over there, which is interesting. She's pinholed between Agatha and Blade at the
Uh,
end of the year. And if they do push her up, let's say, I mean, obviously they have to film it still because they haven't filmed the series yet. So I don't think they could do I don't think they can replace it with Echo. But even if it's like summertime, let's say, like right after, and they're shifting things around, that
right.
makes sense because it's hard to believe that we're gonna get a origin story essentially in Wakanda Forever, and then you're gonna see, like you said, a whole year without it. Because where else would she be? Would she be in Echo? No. Would she be in the Marvels? No. Loki? No. Guardians of the Galaxy? No. Secret Invasion? I don't know how she would play into that. I mean, obviously it's going to be different than the comic books, but it would be interesting. Uh
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I think she needs incubation, but I feel like pushing her out that far and making her compete with like
oh God, actually having to compete with right after it Daredevil. So
yeah,
actually let's talk about that actually. So with that, you're going from what is it? I think 9 episodes was the most we've gotten so far out of Disney
it was like
Plus.
18 or something, right?
Wait, what if was well, no, okay. The first one, Scarlet Witch and
Yeah, it's WandaVision was
Vision
like
was 9. WandaVision
9.
was 9.
Yeah.
What if was I think also 9 or 8 or something. I don't think it was 12, but we're going from, single digits to
Yeah.
18
18.
episodes of Daredevil.
It makes sense. It makes sense. You're reintroducing the characters under the MCU's vision, right? Without
Yes.
diminishing what they already were on Netflix, but tweaking some things. And then you got Spider-Man. So y- we know Spider-Man's gonna be a cameo in something. This is it. This gotta be it. They made a comment that Spider-Man and Daredevil are gonna stay street level, as they should. Spider-Man has been dealing with world problems. He's never got to be the neighborhood Spider-Man he wanted to be. Now that he is the neighborhood Spider-Man who's lost everything, who has no patience now, what a better way to team up with somebody that literally just beats the shit out of people for a
In
living,
Hell's Kitchen. It'd be perfect,
right?
yeah.
Where Spider-Man can explore his new dark side. So it's just like, and then you got Vince coming back looking like a beast in the weight room every single day. It's when we see Kingpin, we're gonna be like, oh shit, because
Oh yeah.
he has something to prove personally. He took those personal attacks on him serious, and he went into the gym the next day. So I'm, I'm like, oh, you guys don't remember this man in MIB? Like the
Oh, yeah.
cockroach boy,
To
anyway.
the
So
water.
yeah, I'm really excited about Daredevil. I think it's gonna be great. Daredevil is probably the most successful thing that Netflix put out in like Marvel wise.
Are
Um,
you Sorry, I took my headphones, so if I cut you off, I apologize. Are you? And this is actually to the audience too. We've gotten so used to these 6 to 9 episodes arcs now, whether it be Star Wars or Mando, right? Or I'm sorry, Star Wars or Marvel.
Mhm.
Going to 18, do you think that may be the new norm, or are they just going to do it for specific? Do you want 18? Are you okay with
You
the
know,
6 to 9? Like, I don't know how I
I
feel about it.
I like it if there's multiple mega heroes in it. If it's Spider-Man and Daredevil in this, Born Again, you can't really people are gonna want to see more because people are hungering for what happened with Peter, right? People are like, Peter
Yeah.
has changed. What's going on? You know, and it's just like, granted, this is a Daredevil title, and let's just say, let's put rumors to rest and say that Peter's not in it. You know, maybe he's mentioned. Daredevil has
Spider-Man or
been
something's
missed
mentioned. Yeah.
so much. It's like you have to repair the damage that was done and then build on it and then sell the audience on wanting to be invested in it. So I think it's a three-part, working experience for this. And I think having that show be that way is great. We already established what's his face? Kingpin. That fight
Yep.
between him and Haley was godlike. It was great.
That was fun.
It was the first time I felt Kingpin. I felt Kingpin in an original Daredevil, but more on a like political standpoint, I guess you could say. Like he's like owning certain things. He's a mega monster, but I didn't really get that. Like angry, just throwing people across the damn. Like I got man when he was
Yeah.
tossing Haley around. I was like, baby, please. I mean, I know it was a stunt double, but just still, I was
Baby,
just like, oh
please.
God, just her hair. Stop. So I'm really
I love
interested in
it,
seeing
Frank.
what happened with that. Yeah. And maybe we'll actually get a Sinister Six. Maybe we'll actually get a real Sinister Six because people are asking questions. Where's Scorpion? You introduced him, and so I really think this is all going to start coming together. And the reason why is because they're going to keep Daredevil and Spider-Man street level, which means Sinister Six is probably going to be a thing. Because
If
if they're
there,
going to street level, then who's else is
I
Kingpin?
would, yeah. And I mean, we haven't seen the Kingpin that we've grown up on. We love the
Right.
X-Men 97 series, right?
Mhm.
And when you talk about X-Men 97, what was kind of like next to it, it was the Spider-Man series. And Kingpin in that series was
He didn't play.
insane. I loved it.
He didn't play.
And even he didn't play, yeah, and even in Insomniac Spider-Man, very similar. We got a little bit of it in season 2 or 3, Chad or Frank or anyone, correct me if I'm wrong. Like we started to see that story arc where you're gonna see him kind of on top, like mayor-esque level. I think even the comics he became mayor at one point.
Yeah, he
Imagine
loses
him,
everything.
yeah, imagine him getting back up there in Born Again or during Born Again or at Born Again, and that's where the Sinister Six comes from, and we get that
I
Kingpin. So
I
when you
don't
get a
think.
ground level
Mm,
boss,
mhm.
it's Kingpin, and then you got Daredevil, you got Punisher, maybe you even got Blade, like, and then you got the Sinister Six with them, and that's kind of like the ground level arc of what's happening. And then obviously you got the bigger cosmic multiversal with Kang and everyone else, because Thunderbolts could be interesting in that as well too.
Yeah, that's gonna
Um,
be more supernatural, probably, right? Like supernatural, and because Thunderbolts is like is that
no,
Ghost Rider and
Thunderbolts is oh my god, not Captain America. Captain America. What is his
oh
name?
yeah, Thunderbolts is the opposite people, right.
Yeah,
Like the mirror versions of everybody else. Yeah.
yeah, and then
American,
Elaine. Did you? And then
American
Elaine
Agent,
too. Yeah,
and yeah, agent and whatever. But yeah, it's I don't think Kingpin's gonna rise to the top. He's already been there. He's already been there. Was established because they made Daredevil Netflix canon in Hawkeye because he said, "I was at the top. I had everything. Then I lost everything, and I'm
actually did a
rebuilding."
good voice there. Oh
You
my
know,
god, do that again. You did a great impression there.
yeah.
Holy crap.
Anyway, so he's just like he's rebuilding it, and he's like, "I will do. Nobody will take that away from me again." Right. So that's the attitude he's going into. I think now that he's been knocked down again, we're about to get I've lost it, Kingpin. No more Mr. Nice Guy, no more trying to rationalize and have talks with people. Echo left me, everything is done. I have nobody now, right? And he's gonna like ground level scrounge up the scummiest people, get into the systems and like the police system and stuff, and start working from them in the bottom and corrupting them, grabbing those people out of maximum security like Scorpion and Rhino and all of them, and then start making the Sinister Six again. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Who's the main Sinister Six? Is who? It's
Vulture,
Kingpin,
there's Vulture,
Doc Ock,
Scorpion, Doc Ock,
Scorpion,
Rhino, Boomerang.
the Boomerang. You mean Electro?
No, I think
Boomer,
it's
isn't
Boomerang.
Boomer?
Who's the
Isn't
guy that has
Boomerang?
a
Isn't
target on his
Captain?
head?
What?
The guy that has a target on his head.
Oh,
Maybe it's
Bullseye. Bullseye.
Bullseye. Sorry, Bullseye.
Craven?
And no, I think Craven kind of like showed up. I don't think he's original. I could, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
Oh, Mysterio.
Mysterio.
Mysterio was
Yes,
part of
yes,
it too.
Mysterio. Yeah, definitely Mysterio.
And
He's like one of the,
Sandman. Well, because it's
yeah.
you got to think of it as the way as who's we've seen, right? Vulture and well,
Goblin.
Kingpin
Goblin.
and Goblin. Oh my god, how we forget about the Goblin? But we have Kingpin, we have the Vulture, and we have
I mean, technically,
Kingpin
we have Scorpion and Rhino. If we want to be technical,
and Scorpion. Wait, Rhino. When was Rhino shown in?
Rhino's suit was shown at one point. One
No,
of the
that
Spider-Man.
was shown in Garfield's universe.
Oh,
That
okay.
wasn't shown in this universe.
Rhino
So
himself was in Garfield's universe. I thought for sure there was an ending in Marvel where they were walking through something and they showed different.
that was the
That
end
it?
of that was the end
That was
of
Amazing
Amazing
One?
Spider-Man 2, where we think it's Norman Osborn was walking through,
Oh, right,
talking
right,
to his
right,
son,
right.
and
I
you
get
see everything.
confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, at the end of it, one, I think. Anyway, yeah, I know what you're talking about. But we know that there's a we know that there is no, or at least we believe there is no Norman Osborn in the MCU because of No Way Home, no Sandman, and
Yet,
no Electro. Like
yet,
those are
Norman
big
Osborn
characters.
may be in the MCU because Peter Parker still has to go to college. So they might do it to where he beats them in college or like during that time period.
Do we know the exact I wonder what the exact line is now, because remember where he's like, I went to my home and no one was there, or like it wasn't my house. I wonder if it's just a thing with like different living situations compared to not actually like I looked up myself and I'm nowhere to be existing. Because that's a
No.
big difference, right?
No, I don't think it's his. I think he went to his house where he would go in his universe and no
There's
one.
your loophole.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's your
Was that
loophole to bring it in then. Yeah.
yeah, so it's just like, well, either that or Peter just meets this guy randomly and becomes friends with him through his journey. He's gonna meet new friends. We know that Zendaya is definitely coming back. Somehow. I hope they do another. I really want another Spider-Man and Zendaya be in it. Um,
Yeah.
whether supposed to be a she's supposed to be something. I don't want to lead any rumors, but it was said that she is going a route of either superhero or vigilante or something of that nature. But we'll see. Da 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 da. Okay,
Oh,
so
so
yeah,
this is what I wanted to put in the pin in before. This is a great, we're talking about the end of phase 4, 5, and 6. We're talking about what may shift, where things are, why isn't, Ironheart earlier compared to later.
yeah, yeah.
And earlier you were talking about Star Wars kind of clustered together, a lot of stuff going on, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And how Marvel can do that. I went back to, I forgot if it was Moon Knight or Multiverse of Madness. So it was either, oh no, it was Moon Knight. So March. If you go from March of 2022 through November of 2025, when the end of phase 6 is supposed to be with Secret Wars. Regardless of it, you're talking about 37 productions that we'll be able to watch in a span of 44 months.
Mhm.
That's an average of something Marvel related, either on Disney Plus or on film, that we'll be able to see every 4 to 5 weeks, and even sometimes 2 in a month. Like, that's
Yeah.
insane.
It is, but
That is insane.
the difference is that Marvel has multiple studios, multiple directors that have hit multiple like world record breaking, money making that can do that. Like Ryan Coogler has been working on Black Panther 2, almost the moment Black Panther was released, he started that journey. So it's just like, yeah, they can do it.
I
The
mean,
thing about
I'm all for it. I just want
yeah,
everything. I want to stay in front of my
yeah, yeah.
TV and then watch it or like movies.
It's
Like
you
I'm
know
down
what?
for it, right? But it's
Disney
just
is
to
a
think of
moneymaker to
that,
me. Yeah,
that's just so much.
I just gotta say it's Disney. That's it. It's like when you got the money and the manpower to do it, you just push it out because you just keep feeding people until they get fat. It's like the Hansel and Gretel method on us right now. You just keep giving us what we want. And it makes up for if something is bad, it makes up for it. You're like, watch the next. The best way to forget about an ex-girlfriend is by getting a new one. So it's just like if something's
Facts.
not great, you focus on the next and you move on. And it could come around later.
My God,
Um
and that doesn't even include, dude, we're gonna be eating good. That doesn't include Star Wars stuff.
yeah,
That doesn't include
animation is good.
House of Dragons. That
Yeah.
doesn't include what is the other thing? The Ring of Power. Like, if you're a fan of anything sci-fi related, essentially, like
Yeah.
every single month, if not multiple times per month, you're gonna be eating good. This
Yeah.
is like we've always said there's no better time than now for the geeks to rule the universe. Like this, us, 10, 20, 30 years ago, like we
Yeah.
wish that was us then. Like
Yeah.
now it's more than ever. I like that's insane to think about.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, then you got DC, but that's a whole nother conversation. But that
Yeah.
doesn't include The Boys season 4. That doesn't include
Oh,
Invincible.
I'm about to
Like,
say
oh my
Invincible, yeah.
God. Like this is unprecedented times, I think. Like this is
Yeah,
I'm sure
it's
things are gonna switch and move, and obviously that's just the name of the game when it comes to productions.
mhm.
Uh, plus things we don't even know about popping up. Like when is Spider-Man getting into this? Like it's
Yeah, Spider-Man
oh
wasn't
man, it's
that's
gonna be
interesting.
cool.
Spider-Man wasn't announced for the next 2, 3 years?
Yeah.
So, ah, that's interesting. Alright, let's move on to,
Whew.
let's get off that. We could talk about that all
God.
day. We can move on to news. Um, so I haven't seen the movie. I'm waiting for it to come out on Disney Plus, but Thor: Love and Thunder, audience dramatically surpasses critics reviewed movies in MCU by critics on Rotten Tomato with 67%. Audience scores coming a bit higher than that at 83%. Um, that's huge. That's really big because there's a history of Rotten Tomatoes like giving certain movies, certain TV shows like a huge rating, and then the audience just like hammering it.
Yeah.
If the audience score likes it, I say believe the audience over the critics. Critics are really weird. There's a bunch of old guys like watch these movies, and a lot of times if they're not into it, they'll try to focus on stuff instead of saying like, "Hey, this movie's not for me, but I can see why audiences like it. I'm gonna give it a score of like a 75." What they'll just be like, it just wasn't my flavor. I didn't like it. Chris Hemsworth wasn't naked enough. And they'll just go through all this stuff and then they just kind of rate it on a personal score, I feel. So the real question is, chat, should Rotten Tomatoes be like only leave it to the audience score? Should that be weighed heavier than what they weigh it? Um, if so, should they hire professional audience goers to write like reasons why instead of just putting a percentage? Put reasons why. Like, I did not like this for this reason. This didn't make sense because the MCU is placed in this time frame. The writing that they did with Chris Hemsworth was a lot different than the door that we grew up with. Whatever, like maybe they should like go back and revisit the formula of their website. I kind of feel that way because Rotten Tomatoes has been a great source. It's kind of like Rotten Tomatoes is like the IGN of movies now, right? It's like not to look at it before you look at a movie, but you do anyway because you're just curious. Um, what's your thoughts on it? Like, should we rewrite the formula? Like
I
that
so
margin is huge, bro.
so I remember when I was in gaming, I remember Metacritic scores weighing heavily on people's bonuses in the industry.
Mhm,
Um and you look at Metacritic for video games like Rotten Tomatoes is with movies, it's very similar. You do have a critic score, and then
mhm,
you have a audience score. But even when you read the critic scores, you got like, for instance, if I created a website right now and a blog, I can get on there and just blow up everything, right? I could just say I hate this game. I'm giving it a one,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it
It's cheap.
weighs
Cheap.
it weighs on the overall score, and it's tough because if you think of back to Miss Marvel, critically it went really well, but audience wise it got bombed because
Right.
people couldn't. You called it the trifecta. It
Yeah.
was a
Couldn't
female,
swallow it.
brown, and Muslim Iraq. it
Yep.
it it, it didn't it didn't work. Or sorry, not that it didn't work, excuse me. You got, you know people hating on it because they suck. And I don't know how to fix that.
Yeah, like I said,
um
credibility needs to come in with reviews. I mean, they should have it very small, like average viewer review, because Miss Marvel is the highest rated TV series. I mean, beat Loki, review wise when it came to a professional standpoint. Um, and yeah, it's not fair. I think
oh, wow. Yeah, you're right, dude. 98%. I didn't realize it was that high by the
yeah,
critics.
yeah, dude. It I agree with the critics on this. People really need to just be real. I would have, if I was a critic, I would just straight up say this score is probably reviewed lower by audiences because of female, brown, Muslim. I would have done that because people are so fast to hide behind what they truly feel about things. Because when you point it out, they're like, no, no, you're just saying that this woke mentality. No, no, to do that. But in the back of their head, they're just like, it would have been better if it was this person or that. It's just like, it's I'm really proud of Iman and how she's handling this shit.
That comment
Um,
that she said was amazing. It
yeah,
was it
because
was
she,
so good.
she she goes on to like Jimmy Fallon, and she's just like laughing this shit off and just be like, people just don't actually know what they're talking about, and it's hilarious to me. But I'm still gonna be at the premieres. I'm still here. Like she's like rubbing that salt in the wound to them because she's just like, I ain't going nowhere. I'll see you on tour at Marvel, and I'll make a TikTok about it, and I'll do this. And you know what? You'll never see my account. People believe she's on Instagram on the not Iman
Oh,
account.
that's her. Her burner account is not a blog.
It's like, yeah, it's like Iman updates or something like that. It's got to be her. But the only reason why I said it's got to be her because there was a literally like I think last week they put out an Instagram saying, "I'm not Iman." She literally said on Fallon that she doesn't have social media. She has fake accounts, and people were like, "Sure, yeah, right, yeah, yeah, sure."
Yep.
Underneath the comment, 888K people, and then the people that call themselves Iman, like acting like they heard, they have like 20 followers. So there's something going on there. Um,
Imagine you wake up and you see not Amon's
yeah, yeah,
whatever it is with like a blue check mark on it. Like, what the-
yeah. So I'm pretty sure she's not registering that.
that would be hilarious. Oh
But yeah,
my god.
I think it's one of
Yeah.
the most successful Disney Plus this year. Definitely my favorite this year. On top of that, um,
Oh yeah.
and she surpassed Moon Knight by far. And any other, I mean, I liked it better than Hawkeye, and I loved Hawkeye. Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier was last year. Hawkeye was last year too. So never mind. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I haven't been on Rotten Tomatoes in a long time.
Mhm.
And when you click on the Thor Love and Thunder or anything, it gives you multiple scores apparently.
Right.
So so for Thor Love and Thunder, I guess the medium or the average is 66 tomato, which is critics, and then audience at 78. But that's all critics.
Yeah.
If you look at top critics, they actually rated it even lower at a 51%.
Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous.
Verified audience 78%, but all audience 69. Like that's pretty big discrepancies.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I always tell people take these reviews like you would take a Steam review. So it's salt over the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's gonna have a different experience watching these movies. I knew that the Thor Love and Thunder wasn't something I wanted to watch in the theater because of the way it's what type of movie. It's a Guardians of the Galaxy type vibe, but not Guardians of the Galaxy. We know that Guardians of the Galaxy is completely going away after this next movie. So it's just like if I want to watch Guardians of the Galaxy, I'll watch Guardians of the Galaxy. I know Love and Thunder is good. I just rather watch it on my couch. So I think those reviews will go up once it hits Disney Plus. That's my thought. Because people are watching in the comfort of their home, they don't have to worry about loud theaters, they don't have to worry about all this stuff, and most people probably didn't watch it in the theater. What else we on? Taskmaster reveals one surprising character he's afraid of.
Oh,
Tweet calls on. Yeah, go ahead. What?
scroll up.
Scroll up.
Yeah, scroll up.
Oh my god. Oh my bad.
I knew something was wrong. I was like, wait a
Oh,
second.
well, I guess we can talk about it. Oh, my bad. Oh, Lord. All right, my bad. All right, well, let's back it up. Let's back it up then. Let's talk about Star Wars. Um, God, I'm so sick and tired of hearing about this guy. But anyway, Luke Skywalker joins the Empire in a huge twist to yellow lightsaber era.
Frank, are you okay? You
Man,
okay,
when are
bud?
we
You
gonna
need a
stop?
bag?
I'm
I just-
yeah. I'm so sick of hearing about Luke. He's literally the worst Jedi, dude. He's just annoying. I don't like him. I didn't like him as a kid in Obi-Wan. Sorry, that kid was ugly. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. I'm playing. I did not like the portrayal. They portrayed Luke. And I didn't mean ugly looks wise. I mean ugly as in like the way they portrayed that character. It was just an ugly scene. Like that scene didn't even need to happen, right? Like I just felt like an Obi-Wan. That whole thing just
Oh,
shouldn't
you
happen.
finally finished Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out why you sitting there. I'm like, I'm saying this out loud, you dumbass. Please look. No, I'm saying, but like, it's like, I hated that scene. That was the worst thing for me. Over
Okay.
banging your head into a tree scene. It was just like, bro, why? Luke, they tell that boy to run. He was like, when he hit his head, I was like, yay, cannon.
Yeah, he can.
I was just like, yes, we can go to the
This
Leia
explains a
era.
lot.
I mean, when you have the two kids side by side, Leia is perfect, and then Luke Skywalker was
Oh,
just
yeah.
a waste. It was a waste of a character, a waste of time. They could have just made Luke a mention and been done with it. I understand what they're trying to do. I'm interested in seeing if Obi-Wan is taking on the third sister, I forgot her name, the third sister as his protege or whatever, and they're gonna rebuild.
Eva?
Yeah, they're gonna rebuild the order together. Kind of makes sense to me that they're gonna do that because she kind of just broke and
Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I don't even know if Star Wars and Scotch talked about this. This just popped in my head. So the original plan was to kill Reva. So if the original plan was to kill Reva when Darth went Darth, like,
yeah.
and stabby, uh, that whole scene was supposed to be different or not there. Because if the original plan going throughout was to kill her, right? Then she wouldn't have gone after Owen and Luke and what's Owen's wife's name? You wouldn't have to gone onto them. You wouldn't have had to see that, and it would have really truly been about Leia pretty much 99% of the time instead of 97% of the time. So if that's the case, was there someone else supposed to be there besides Reva doing that whole thing to make it a different impact? Or was that whole scene just like a second thought after the fact?
I think that whole scene is gonna lead into New Hope because it's like Obi-Wan. She didn't break her connection to the dark side, but she kind of like started getting a little gray, I guess you want to so say,
Yeah.
because she came to a revelation, she came to terms with things. Obi-Wan was put through a true test of can he overcome fear, vengeance, and be merciful again to reconnect himself to the light side completely, which he did because he saw Qui-Gon. Now,
I've been here.
and Qui-Gon, he was like, "What the hell were you?" Qui-Gon was like, "I'm here the whole time. Dumbass, make mistakes. You ready to be a real Jedi?"
Oh,
Let's go. I wish Qui-Gon got gangster with it because, geez, Louise, I felt the same way.
It's so good.
Yeah, so I think she's going to help build the Jedi Order. I think she's going to go find those kids, gather them up, and start a new Jedi Order because her whole story is that she has no one, she lost everyone, and she misses having a family. And every time family was mentioned, she was touched by Leia, by Obi-Wan, even by Luke, seeing him on the ground. She saw
Yeah.
herself or her. I think it was herself. She saw her friends or whatever. Um, she bringing him back and saying that she knows this is not what her people would want. That the vengeance that they would want, and she stands up and throws down the saber to break her relationship with the dark side and vengeance and give that up for a new hope. And then like Obi-Wan stands her up and says, "Your journey is just beginning," so to speak. So I'm like, "Oh, we know
Mm.
where this is going. This is where the secret Jedi Order is going to start like forming, and then the New Hope leads into the New Hope later on, and maybe we'll see her in the new canon stuff. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but they didn't kill her off, and I was just like, oh, she's going to help build the New Order. It's just how it's going to be. Um, it's going to be interesting. Oh, big elephant in the room. We still got to see Kyle from Jedi Fallen Order. It's going to
Yeah.
happen. Cal, excuse me. It's going to happen. 100% going to happen. Whether it happens after the next video game installment, probably. But
Well, yeah,
it's going to
because didn't they
happen. He's
I
scheduled
believe
for live action.
yeah, they're working with them on figuring out a live action series, I think. So I
Yeah.
assume it's gonna be after Jedi Fallen Order,
Uh,
Survivor.
yeah,
Excuse me, there's
100.
no way it's gonna be before. But
No, no, no.
that would be a cool gap in
He's
between
going to
2 and
meet
3.
Obi-Wan in that game. I'm pretty positive. He's gonna meet Obi-Wan in that game. So we still gotta get Vader series. Isn't Vader a series coming out?
I mean, I think everyone wants that
They
more
have the
than
comic
a
run, but I'm
season.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, let me not do that again. Anyway,
Fucking Greg, I
moving
love you,
on.
man.
Doctor Doom. Doctor
No,
Doom
I'm
little
still,
story.
dude. I am still on this. I want to know how this thing ended. Like
I mean,
they completely. I'm gonna be going into Google
I
hardcore on this
literally
because.
just told you, man. Like
I,
it's just the one thing about Star Wars
so
is
did
hella
they?
predictable.
So I wonder if. Okay, the simple answer would be the final episode was a mix between episode. How many episodes was it? Six episodes or nine?
Yeah, it's six.
So 5 and 6 were combined at one point to be that final episode.
Mhm.
And then they reshot or added the shots, came back for reshoots, and then they added all those additional things. So was the end literally he just cut the face, he left Leia, and then hi Luke, and then there was nothing in between? Or was there something else planned? I'm sorry, I can't get off of this. But go ahead. You got to get me off of it because
I don't know.
I so many questions.
Just focus on what they did.
Yeah, sure.
Like
What they didn't do.
it's yeah, it's very obvious that he needs someone. He's he probably didn't leave her. I'm pretty sure at the end of that whole thing when he hugs Leia and goes off, he's going to rebuild the order. That's his mission, dude. He's probably gonna find Yoda and rebuild the order.
I don't think they ever connected. Maybe through the Force, maybe they'll connect, but I don't think they ever as of right now, canon wise,
Yeah.
connected between. What would be cool is I think instead of that would be we still don't know
I want to see
what
Mace Windu.
happens to the Inquisition. Nah.
Whoa,
Kevin and I believe, and you guys can think of it. Anyway, what happens? We don't know what happens to the Inquisition, right? What happens to the Inquisitors between
uh,
now and New Hope outside of just going
oh,
bye bye? What happens if something with Riva? She doesn't like the Inquisitors right now, right? What happens if Riva's series and stories is not with Obi-Wan, but she's gray or whatever it is, and she finds a group of people and goes against the Inquisition.
they're not
And
gonna give
maybe
her a
that's the
well,
story.
I don't think they're gonna give her a
No, but they
home.
don't kill her off. No, but I think they are. I think they said they wanted to do something with her series wise. But
I
I
mean,
don't know. That could be interesting.
if they do, that'd be
And
hilarious because
Quinlan's somehow invested in there too.
yeah, that'd be hilarious if they do. Yeah, I'll be for it
And
'cause
then
that's
Mace
what's going
Windu comes in with like no arm and just goes. I mean, listen, superhero landing force style, bro. It's okay.
I mean,
It's
he'd be like,
okay.
"Motherfucker."
Done
Yeah,
with this one hand shit.
yeah. Look at this shit. He just has like an arm that's a lightsaber.
I'm
No,
done with these mother
yeah,
Jedi's and Sith on this planet.
yeah. I don't blame him. You know, I don't know. At this point, they could probably do a lot. I just,
Ah! And then
I'm
Jar Jar comes in.
oh,
Oh, that'd be
I don't
awesome.
that character. I don't know.
Darth Jar
Anyway,
Jar, come on, man. This is like
no,
fanfic.
no, that's a what if episode at the end of the day. But like, yeah, with Star Wars, I'm not trying to theory craft anything because it can go any which way. I'm just more worried about. I'm more hyped about
Oh
High
my god.
Republic, I guess, over what we're having in Star Wars. I'm sick of Luke Skywalker. Honestly, I'm excited to see. I want to see an episode or a series with Leia. I just want them to focus on Leia. How did she get with Jar Jar? How's she getting that nice little outfit? Like, I just want to see all that stuff happen in between and how Leia's interworking people and manipulating them from the outside in. That's the one I want to see because they already stapled that Leia is taking on a serious role as a 9-year-old and how she
Badass.
develops into the Leia who she is, how the Force is specific in her. 'Cause the Force is very specific in Leia. Some say, lore wise, is stronger than it was in Luke. Um, so what goes on with that? I want to see a Lando show. Okay, just all about Lando.
Mhm.
Got Han Solo, which you might as well call that the Lando show at the end of the day. But anyway, we got a Solo. I want to see a Lando, and then we got
Whatever.
the Rogue One series or whatever the heck
Andor.
with that. Yeah, that's supposed to come in. We got Ashoka, we got Acolyte, which I'm probably hyped about Acolyte the most. So there's a lot there. So I say Star Wars, enjoy the ride. Okay. I tried to move on, but it was Matt. He's in trouble.
I'm
Anyway, no.
sorry. Just blame me. Sorry,
Doctor
Jack.
Doom and Doctor Doom wields Thor and Captain America's weapons and all. Marvel's All Out Avengers trailer. Um, so Marvel teased All Out Avengers will place Earth Mightiest heroes straight into knee-deep action with no setup, no explanation, and no timing of questions. Each issue of the series will see Avengers take down a separate threat while also connecting to an overarching storyline. Go figures, like every other thing. The trick was to work within the confines of the inherent and concept, but also to find a way to deliver that everyone would expect a continuity of ideas and development of overarching storyline. So this seems like it's going to be like a kind of like an open-ended type thing. I guess they're just going to kind of go along and see how good it does, and then keep feeding on to the story or whatever. I'm I'm kind of the comic books. I think we're getting so much good in the series. I'm more interested in the MCU than I am in the comics now because the attachment to characters in comics lately is little to none. You get a character you're attached to and they just disappear, or somebody replaces them instantly, or like they go on some kind of extravaganza where you got to order like 3 or 4 different other comic books to find out what happens to the character in between this time and that time. Comic books are the most confusing they've ever been right now. And I feel like the formula needs to be rewritten. And I think that's probably why they're starting over a bunch of series. But they need to stop starting over with Spider-Man. My God. They need to start developing stuff that can be solid and stop visiting these what if things. I understand it's fun, but I just feel like to really, really push the comics to the next level, you have to give somebody a foundation to stand on first. You know, you don't want to just give them a bunch of wood and say, "Hey, good luck." You know, build your own universe out of this. Like, give them a foundation, let them figure
Yeah.
out what's good for them, and stop making them buy multiple comics to understand the comic that they're currently reading. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, uh,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah. I mean, just don't do a new 52. Don't do a new 52. Stop doing the origin story. Start rebooting everything, but bring it all together in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Because, yeah, it's nice having different like Batman action, Detective Batman, and different versions. You can deal with the multiverse, right? But when it's an interacting story that's supposed to be all on 616, for instance, for Marvel, it kind of gets a little bit hairy and crazy. So, yeah, and don't do it with Spider Man.
Yeah, just I mean, come on. Moving on, let's say see you around Kid from Charles Soule and Will Sliney are good friends here at the comic show. Making a force connection between Luke and Ben, and making it canon, which I think is very important because this was
Hmm.
visited in the movie, but it wasn't visited well in the movie. Charles Soule and Will Sliney will definitely make that connection very well because people love the comic book Kylo Ren very, very much. They're just hooping and hollering about it. So I think showing that and making it canon, like finally giving Kylo Ren a staple and Luke a staple in like in this new universe of new old universe of Star Wars, will start having a way we can break away from Luke finally. Like it just want to get away. But anyway, we'll see. I don't know. Uh,
When you get more pieces like that to combine, uh um thread to weave these stories together like that, it's cool, it's
yeah,
fun. And I mean, when you talk about Charles, and obviously, well, you're going to get something great out of it anyway regardless. So it's a double hit there for me. I think that's really cool.
yeah.
I'm interested to see how they're gonna do it. I mean, Kylo, I mean, movie wise is interesting, very brooding. We'll see. In the comics it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
It's the way it's written and
it's
portrayed is
definitely
is
yeah
different, which is
more
gonna be cool.
calculated. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. And I think revisiting these moments, I just want them to say, "Hey guys, this is canon." I understand that they need to make that apparent for like hardcore Star Wars people, and then move on. Because my gosh, we don't want no more Luke in our lives. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, wow, we are on time. Look at that. Good job, Frank. Good job, Matt.
I'm
Um,
sorry I took us off
10 minutes.
course. It could
No,
have
you're
been even
fine.
earlier. I
I am
apologize.
one thing I'm good at is cutting us off at the knees. So Q&A. Light novels and webtoons continue to see animated adaptations. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on a live action adaptation? Yu Yu Hakusho is getting a live action. They better nail this, because if they don't, they better just not ever introduce a live action anime again, because this is probably the last straw for a lot of people. The cast looks great. The makeup looks great. Um, Somebody was like, "Thank God they got some Asian people." Like that was a caption on a thing, and it got like 25,000 like likes or something.
Oh,
It's the truth though, and I think that had something to do with a little anime called Death Note. So yep. Upcoming shows to pay attention to. If you're in anime, there's so many isekais out there to watch. Just watch them. Mob Psycho got, I think, a season 3 coming or something, 4, a C3, I think. I mean, definitely watch Mob Psycho. It's freaking great. Other than that, I Solo Leveling, just keep an eye on that. That news is coming down the pipeline. Webtoons
ooh,
wise,
okay.
I am not, I don't know. I haven't been really reading any webtoons recently. Comic book wise, as I said before, I've kind of backed off comics for a little bit right now. I think right now, if you really want to read a comic, start reading anything Black Panther. Even the old comics is really good. Get familiar with who this person is that they're going up against and why they're going, but why is their anger? Like really, really start to like figure out who before you go into the movie theater, and keep your mind open and not compare the two, but have an idea what you're going to be getting into.
Yeah,
The thing about Ryan Coogler, he does a really good job at relating back to the comics. He takes pieces of the comic and develops his own story instead of just ripping straight from the comics and trying to splice it together. Indie comics, I don't know. Go ahead, man.
I back to like watching things at least. I gotta say I haven't been able to sleep at all this week.
Mhm.
Thanks to COVID. I don't know. I was just something, and I have watched a bunch of things, a little bit old, a little bit new. If you like or these type of movies in general or shows, not necessarily comical related, but
Uh,
I watched Gray Man, the
oh yeah.
Russo brothers, Netflix.
Oh,
Awesome. I really enjoyed it.
okay.
Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans as a
Went straight into
sociopath
Dr.
bad
Grayman.
guy is
Mhm.
awesome.
Okay,
What
cool,
happened?
cool. No, I was like, I went straight to Dr. Grayman. I was like, the
Yeah, it's
anime?
called it's either The Gray Man or Gray Man, something like that.
I know what you're
But
talking
yeah,
about.
it's on Netflix. It's a lot of fun. It's a really, really fun movie. Ryan Gosling is dope, and seeing Chris Evans as a sociopath bad guy was different, and I loved it actually.
Mm,
Um, I just binge watched the Reacher series on
great.
Amazon Prime, which is really cool. But even better, I had no idea where the show was going. It's it hurts to watch some of the episodes because it hits, but the terminal list with this is
Uh,
all Chris, by the way. I just realized Chris Pratt, really, really good show. You think it's one thing at the beginning, and then it's they were all yeah, everything had Chris in there, but Chris Pratt does an amazing job. Though, if you have time or the next couple of weeks and you want to watch something, I know it's not superhero related. Those three things, film and show wise, God, they're so good, so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. We've been watching The Expanse.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's really good. Expanse has a very slow build up. But once it gets going, it gets going goo. It's really good. I think once you figure out what's the small plot twist that happens, I think at like beginning of season 2, then you're like, oh, okay, great. This is starting to speed up. Extraordinary Attorney Woo on Netflix is it's a Korean show, but it's an autistic lawyer who is pretty much what's that game? Phoenix Attorney at Law. It's pretty much like
Oh
an
my god.
adaptation of that with a female protagonist. Pretty good. And it's getting a lot of hoopers and raves, and I see a lot of people talking about it, and I might pick that up and watch that as well. Um, Comic book related, man. I hear you guys and girls out there saying that The Boys is great, but I fall asleep every time I try to watch it. I just can't get into it. I don't know how much I can like Homelander wanting booby
Oh,
milk, freaking the deep having like problems with the size of his wang wang and his like rib mouths or whatever gills, whatever he got going on. And like between those two things, man, like it's like every episode I watch Homelander's looking for breast milk. I just can't do it. I'm gonna try again when I'm like super like awake instead of trying to do it at night. Maybe I can get past that, but that's all I see, you know.
dude, what was it? I think it was last week. I remember specifically seeing you or Winter. I think it was her. And then you retweeted the whole sleeping meme. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Oh
And when you
yeah.
brought that up, dude, I put two and two together. I did it again. I'm cracking up. That is the
Bro, that's me,
funniest.
dude. I
Dude, I
anytime
love it. I
yeah,
love it, man.
only show I can stay on is The Expanse because I'm a space fiend. But
Your
like
space.
I'm a superhero, and I'm like The Boys. I'm just like, oh my god, please, something happen, And it's just not happening. He's just like breast milk, mommy wants, and bottle and boobs, and I'm just like, what is going on? Why? Like, why is that a thing for him? I understand he has mommy and daddy issues, but come on, like it's only so much breast milk you can. But anyway, yeah, there's that. So if you have a show that you guys watch or enjoy or like, please let us know. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments below if you're watching on like any other podcast and or hit us up on Twitter. Let us know what you want to talk about. If there's anything that you like, please hit me up. Hit us up on the thing. YouTube series. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to get to Jensen Atkins so I can like it. I don't know. We'll see. I just have to go when it's not nighttime and I'm not tired. If there's a Star Wars era that you want to see on a live action, or let us know. Is there a Star Wars video game that you like to see? For instance, maybe there should be a Star Wars versions of Marvel Avengers, but with Star Wars. I don't know, something on that late. Not exactly by the company, but something on that layer. How would you feel? Would you like to see Star Wars Galaxies come back and make a big return since space games are really, really starting to take off right now? What do you think about Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel? And let us know what you think about that, especially with Miss Marvel. How do you feel about critics and the scores that they're giving versus the audience? Those are all questions that we can bring back next week on the comic show. And yeah, do your homework, guys. But other than
I,
that,
Actually,
yeah.
you know what I'm gonna do? She just brought it up, Winter. I saw it the other day, and we brought it up the other week. I am actually gonna go. I didn't realize there was 5 seasons
Oh,
of it. I completely
X-Men.
forgot. I'm gonna go watch the original X-Men series. I'll see. I'll definitely get through
Cartoon,
season
the
one this week.
animation, not the
The
movie.
animation. Yeah, yeah, no, not the animation.
Oh yeah,
I'm
so
gonna go.
Disney,
I'm gonna go
maybe
and
we'll
watch
start
that. Yeah,
watching that. Yeah.
yeah,
That's your
yeah.
homework. Okay, scratch
Go
all that
watch
I
that.
said. Go watch X-Men on Disney Plus. All the episodes. You will be blown away because that is still
So
actually
good.
it holds up better now than it did back then because I'm an adult now that can understand what the hell's going on. Back then, I'm just like, I just want to see Berserker Barrage all over the place. But now I'm just like, I'm good. Like I understand, man. There's some deep adult stuff in that. Um,
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't realize that was 5 seasons, so I'm gonna go definitely, have some fun with that.
you got some time. Got a
Yeah,
lot of time.
I got all the time.
Yeah, I got a lot of time to catch up for the sequel, and I heard the sequel is supposed to be really good. And mm, as I said before, when marketing starts happening at Marvel, you know something's coming. I will tell you this: my really close personal friend. Don't worry, it's not a leak. Fuckers. Is Will Smiley. Hold on, let me see where I
He's
got that.
Googling, wait for it. I
I'm
mean,
not
actually
googling. I'm checking my DMs.
okay, yeah,
Make sure I
while you're
didn't
going
see
through
that.
that, I actually didn't realize how many episodes they did of this. So the first and second season were 12 episodes each.
Okay,
Season All
we
right,
Gucci.
season 3 was 19. Season 4, this is X-Men, by the way, the series, was 21 episodes, and then the one that got caught short was 10. I didn't realize they did that many episodes of the cartoon when
Yeah,
it was
it was
out there.
years.
Oh man, I'm gonna have a
Years,
lot
man.
of fun with that.
Years. All right, I'm gonna give you something to think about. Just check my DMs with Gucci. Because it wasn't told in my DMs. I saw it on Twitter, and he posted it. Gotta be careful
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba.
nowadays. I got DMCA the other day
I
for
saw
pointing
that,
out
dude.
a hacker in a game. They thought it was me. Apparently, I don't know. Anyway, Gambit is getting his comics. His comics are coming. I saw the cover.
Ooh.
So yeah, that means maybe one of our first X-Men being introduced will be Gambit. I'd be there for it. Anyway, my name is Technique. I've been your host for today, and we got Night Hawk Plays. Matt, take it away, man. Where can they
Right,
find you?
please. Yeah. So thank you, Frank. Another great episode. Awesome, obviously, to always be here. In regards to this week, I had last week off pretty much the whole week, breathing and living and dealing with that. But yeah, this week's gonna be a lot of fun. I got a bunch of games I got to get through, which is gonna be fun. I'm doing the Dark Picture anthology, which is games I haven't played before, and they're actually
Nice.
really really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna finish up Little Hope, and then I'm sorry, House of Ashes, and then go to Little Hope over the next week.
I think I did.
Um,
House of Ashes, the one with the school kids. Yeah, I think so.
no, that's Little Hope, I think.
Oh,
House
Little
of
Hope. Yeah.
Ashes is with like a succubus or whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't know.
Oh, right.
Yeah, all scary games. It's been a lot of fun. Pretty
Oh,
sure I have no voice because of it. I'm gonna be opening up some more Pokemon cards on YouTube. I've been absolutely digging and loving that, and it's been going
good.
really well. And then outside of that, just gonna be living life to the fullest with summer. God, it's gonna be August. Summer coming to an end soon. So
Yeah,
outside of that, I don't know. Yeah. Outside of that, you can find me here on Twitch at Nighthawk Plays, play spelled with a Z. Twitter, Instagram, anything and everything in between. Nighthawk Plays as well. If you're a fan of Pokemon stuff, just look up Pokey Hawk TV, POKEHAWK
God,
TV.
good
Go
God, so
through.
smart. Made his
Yeah,
own
I mean,
YouTube.
dude. The biggest thing, dude. I'm having so much fun on YouTube. The biggest thing I learned is Pokemon and scary games or like God of War. There's just no mix there. Separating it completely was the smartest thing I ever did. So yeah, Pokehawk TV. Look me up. I got awesome clips and videos and giveaways and all that fun jazz. Frank, what are you doing this week? Any Star Citizen updates?
This weekend is my breathing room. Next week is hell.
All right.
Shooting a commercial next week for something you probably eat a lot, and then doing more stuff with that. I don't even know if I can talk about it, but it'll go
Well,
live when it goes live.
congratulations and good luck, brother.
Thanks. Yeah, I feel like I do a shoot every 3 months now, which is fine. I'm here for it. I'm not complaining at all. I'm excited about that. Other than that, yeah, Star Citizen is back on the menu, baby. The wipe happened, and they gave us too much money. I already bought my stuff, so I ain't getting that taken away. Yay! I just didn't get them all updates, so they took all our money away. So now we're back down to 20,000 UCE, which is
Broke.
incredible. Yeah, broke as hell. I went from 7 mil to that. But anyway,
No,
there's that. Multiverses. I've been grinding the hell out of that. I think I'm gonna go back into the comp scene. With that game, I feel like I'm very good at it. So, and I'm also like teaching people. Wow,
nice.
which is pretty nice. Smart guy about his YouTube was saying like you started my YouTube channel is going to be completely revamped. It's going to be just cinematic RP and machinimas.
Ooh, okay.
And Star Citizen is going to be a flagship. Any other game I can do anything overly cinematic, we'll have folders for that. But Star Citizen is going to be a flagship of it because once I get my new keyboard in, that game is nuts. You can actually direct your own movie within the game. It has camera angle slots that you can hotkey and everything. So I am very much going to be
Wow.
doing that, producing music for it, editing my own video. It's something that's a passion project I'm gonna do that's just gonna let me escape from the world. TTRPGs on Mondays on Table Story on Twitch. A Table Story is a Table Story or Table Story? It's Table Story on Twitch, right? Yeah, Table Story on Twitch. You can come watch me on Mondays play um an Alien on a homebrew. If you like Outlaw Star, Cowboy Bebop, Vash, Stampede, come watch. The first episode was baller. I'm talking about we went hardcore when it comes to production value and makeup and outfits. I fully fledged in my own makeup, and yeah, it took me 2 hours to do. I mean, an hour and a half to do, but I do it every Monday. So just come on by that. We just finished Rhyme yesterday. It was very emotional. My face is still swollen from it. It was a good time from crying. It was a very emotional time. Other than that, yeah, come see me on the channel. After this, I'll be playing some multiverse. So yeah, that's it. So thank you very much for being here. And thanks for believing in the comic show. Being on a new channel is hard. We have to rebuild our audience and re-push the narrative. Hey, we're here. Thanks to our producer today. If you noticed something really awesome, things were changing, shit was moving. That's Paul. I'm not gonna sit here
Thank
and
you, Paul.
say all his nice things about us. Paul is the one that really stepped it up for us while he's had a lovely new addition to his family and still woke up super early to make sure that phase 2 looked this good. If you notice, all the stuff has changed. All my dislikes that I kept saying is like now I like. So he's amazing and he's a great producer. So make sure you guys check out. I what the hell is your name? Monday. I love Monday. Yeah, I love Mondays and Rare Drop. Go check them out. That's it. Have a good week, and we'll see you next week for the comics. Stay on the mix. Take it easy. Peace out, and see you later. Bye.